Hello traders, the title of the video is Know the First Fundamental Characteristic of a Bearish Candlestick Bar. Know the first fundamental characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar. Alright? So you may be wondering and say, George, I know what is a bearish candlestick bar. All right, what are you talking about here? All right, now there is a misconception or a misunderstanding of a bearish candlestick bar, and I will clarify that in this tutorial. And from today, you will be able, to identify or to recognize, the first characteristic, the first fundamental characteristic of a typical bearish candlestick bar. Okay. The general teaching that we have is that if we have a candlestick bar like this, and the opening price is here, all right. Suppose this is the opening price, the horizontal line is the opening price, and the closing price is below the opening price, we will say that that candlestick bar is bearish because the closing price is inferior or is below the opening price. This is the general teaching. So when we look at the chart here, you will see many candlestick bar like this one here. Let's zoom into this one. You see this one here. I'm going to put my arrow onto this one, and you'll see I'm talking about that tiny candlestick bar there. You can see that it's a, generally speaking, trader will say it's a bearish candlestick bar because the opening price is superior. So where is the opening price for that candlestick bar? Is this line, and the closing price is below the opening price. So generally speaking, all right, this is a misconception. Trader will say it's a bearish candlestick bar because the opening price, is superior to the closing price, or the closing price is inferior to the opening price. In another word, the closing price is below the opening price. This is a misconception. And today I want to show you what is the first characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar. All right. Now, for traders who understand area wave or who understand Fibonacci, all right. So if you see that a price goes up like this, all right, and pull back, and it finds support somewhere near the 50% Fibonacci retracement, all right. So price goes out from A to B, and then it stops here. Okay, so price was going up, boom, 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 bullish, and then it pulled back like this, but it stopped on the 50% Fibonacci retracement level of this move up. Will you say that this is a bearish price action? Will you say that this is a bearish price action? No. Why? Because if the price finds support here, we will have, at this point in time, a higher low. But that higher low is also above the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. All right. Now, another thing I will say to you, suppose, am I making sense here? Am I making sense? All right. Am I making sense? All right. Let's leave that one to the side. But when we go back to the candlestick bar, I'll come back to that in another video, and I'll give you more explanation about that. Now, like I will show you here, this candlestick bar, we will call it is bearish because the opening price is below the closing price. But the first characteristic, here it comes, of a bearish candlestick bar is when the closing price is below, the median line of that candlestick bar. Okay, let me explain myself. So, this is the first characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar. So you see any candlestick bar, highlight the high, and also highlight the low of that candlestick bar, all right? Okay, this is the high, this is the low, Now, suppose, all right, so the median line, so we want to know where is the median line for that candlestick bar. Okay? So this is the middle line that is dividing the range of that candlestick bar. All right? Okay? All right? So this is the median line. I'm going to color the median line now into red. Okay, here we are. Now, that's the candlestick bar. That's the range of the candlestick bar, the high and the low. Now, pay attention. Suppose, my friend, all right, suppose that the price did open here. So this is the opening price. This line here, this is the opening price. So the stock opened here at this price level, okay? All right, and then it went up, okay, but it closed below the opening price. So it went up and then it went down all the way here, but finally it closed here. Is it too complicated? Or if it doesn't make any sense, let me know in the comment section. So the red line is the median line of the candlestick bar. The orange line is the closing price. Here we have, okay, the opening price. So the opening price is the green one here, and the closing price is the orange one here. But the median line of the candlestick bar is the red line here. You can see that the closing price, which is the orange line, is below the opening price. Generally, we will say that that candlestick bar is bearish, but it is not bearish. What I want you to do is to compare. Anytime you want to label a candlestick bar bearish, you want to compare the closing price to the median line of the range of that candlestick bar, provided that, okay, the opening price is different from the closing price. It's getting complicated now, my friend. All right, so you see this candlestick bar here. This is a doji, yes. Okay, here in this case, for a doji, the closing price is equal or almost equal to the opening price. We are not talking about a doji. All right, the explanation that I'm giving today is not relating to the doji candlestick bar when the closing price is equal to the opening price. Okay, here again you can see that there's another one here. The closing price is equal to the opening price. We don't want those candlestick bar. We are looking for candlestick bar where the closing price is different from the opening price, and the candlestick bar also has a range. All right, so what you need to do is to highlight the high and the low of the. So when we let's use this one. You see this candlestick bar here. So where is the high? Okay, so the high for this candlestick bar is here. Okay, and the low is also here. Now you may think that what I'm discussing here doesn't matter, doesn't make any sense. But when you start, this is what we are talking about. When we start paying attention more, when we start recording more videos about candlestick bar, it will make more sense to you. All right. So don't rush into quick conclusion. All right. If you disagree, hold it there for now, and follow us and stay tuned, and we will be posting more video. It will make more sense. So this candlestick bar, I'm talking about this one here. We highlight the high and the low. Okay, and then we want to know where is the middle line somewhere. Oops. Hopefully I can put it there. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to color the median line for that candlestick bar into red. We are talking about this candlestick bar here. Pay attention to this number 1, 2, 12. This vertical line here. Hold on, please. I'll get there soon, my friend. Oops. Bringing my arrow up here to point to the candlestick bar that we are looking at. So we highlight the high, the low, and the median line. So now, as you can see, this candlestick bar here, okay, we have the high, the median line, and a low. Remember, so in order to label the first characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar, the first fundamental characteristic of bearish candlestick bar is a candlestick bar that closes below its median line, provided that the opening price is different from the closing price. Now, instead of saying that a bearish candlestick bar is a candlestick bar where the closing price is inferior to the opening price, that's incorrect. The correct or the first fundamental characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar is a candlestick bar that closes below, all right, the median line. Okay, all right. So it's first, the closing price below the opening price, which is the general belief. But for us, before we can label that candlestick bar bearish, the closing price should be below the median line. All right. So going back to this candlestick bar here, you can see that the closing price is below, all right, the median line. All right. That is the first characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar. All right? Okay? Now, I'm going to show you another example here, and then you start getting clearer to you in a moment. All right? So I'm looking. Yeah, I want to pay attention to one candlestick bar here. This one here. Okay, this one. Okay, so where is the high? Okay, it's here. That's the high, which is also the high. In this case, is also equal to the opening price. Are you following me? All right. So remember that the dark green candlesticks are bearish candlestick on my chart here. So the high and the opening price for this candlestick bar is here. So where is the low? Is here. Okay, and then the median line is somewhere here. We are talking about this one here. Okay, let's zoom into it, my friend. We are talking about this candlestick bar here. Though the opening price, okay, is superior to the closing price, because the closing price in this case is below the opening price. However, this particular candlestick bar, it is not bearish. Why? Because it is above the median line of the range of that candlestick bar. Can you see it? This one here. It is not bearish candlestick bar. But generally, a lot of market participants will say that this candlestick bar is bearish, because the closing price is below the opening price. No, that's the first condition. But the first fundamental characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar is when the closing price is below, okay, the median line of the range of the candlestick bar. Here we do not have a bearish candlestick bar. Okay, now, okay, there's one more example here. A better example here. Look at this one here. Now you can see that the opening price is superior to the closing price. Generally speaking, people will say that it's bearish, but it is not a typical bearish candlestick bar. All right, feel free to disagree. Why? Because when we put the high, all right, the low and the median line of that candlestick bar, you can see that the median line is the one I'm going to color now into red. The closing price, though the closing price is below the opening price, the closing price is above the high of, all right, the median line of the range of that candlestick bar. Therefore, here, as you can see, you got a long tail. That's why we say when you see a candlestick bar with a long tail like this, and the closing price is also the median line of the range of the candlestick bar, This is very bullish candlestick bar. This is a bullish candlestick bar. It is not bearish. Why? Because the financial instrument did open here at the top, all right, and it went all the way down here, all right. So this is where it went to. So from the level of $106, the price went down on that particular month to $86.84. But look, though the price went down all the way here, it quickly found a support and went back above the median line. That candlestick bar, it is not bearish. Though, generally speaking, it's a bearish candlestick bar, it is not typically bearish. Not, how do I say it? It's not fundamentally bearish. It is not. This candlestick bar is not fundamentally bearish. All right? Why? Because you need to understand what is happening here. The median line of a candlestick bar, this is what I'm trying to explain to you with the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, but I'll come back to that in another tutorial because I don't want you to get confused now. So look at this candlestick bar that we have here at the beginning that I draw on my chart. All right? This one here, okay? So this is the range, the high, the low, and the median line, okay? All right? Okay? So if the opening price is somewhere up here, and the price went all the way down here, as it goes down all the way here, all right, if the candlestick bar closed below the median line, so now that the candlestick bar is closed, professionals are watching a candle like this one here. You see this one here? This is a bullish candlestick bar. So they are watching it. So on this particular day, they see, wow, this is a bullish day. It's not a bearish day. Though the opening price is superior to the closing price, this is a bullish day because the stock did open here. Though it closes below the opening price, it went down all the way here, especially if it's a long range candlestick bar. All right? But it went all the way here at $55. Okay, so price did open somewhere in the zone of $80, went down all the way on that particular month to $56. But before the monthly candlestick bar is closed, here it closed at $74. So though the bearish traders pushed it down all the way to $56, they couldn't hold it there. It went back up all the way to $75. From 56, it found a support and went back up again to $75. Therefore, we cannot call this candlestick bar a bearish candlestick bar. It is a misunderstanding, a misconception to declare that a candlestick bar is bearish just because the closing price is below, okay, the opening price. The best definition of a bearish candlestick bar is a candlestick bar that closes below the median line of the range of that candlestick bar. Now with that, you will start looking at the candlestick bar in a different way. You will know where are the support level. So looking at this candlestick bar alone, I will declare that this is a support zone. Because 56, it found a support and went back all the way to $75. Though it closes below, okay, the opening price. It is a bullish phenomenon. All right, so one more thing before I close this video. Remember that bearish candlestick bar, I will be recording another video to explain to you how to identify a very bearish candlestick bar. Now, I can tell you now, you see this candlestick bar here is very bearish because it closes below the median line, but also it closes near the low of that candlestick bar. So when a financial instrument, okay, closes, okay, be near the low of the range of that candlestick bar, okay, it is a very bearish candlestick bar. So when I'm testing you, so suppose I'm testing you, your knowledge of candlestick bar, and ask you, how do you define, okay, a very bearish candlestick bar? The correct answer will be a very bearish candlestick bar will close near the low of the range of that candlestick bar. So a very bullish candlestick bar will close near the high of the range of that candlestick bar. That's how we define a very bullish candlestick bar. A very bearish candlestick bar is a candlestick bar that will close near the low of the range of the candlestick bar. All right. So, but the first That's why we are saying to you the first fundamental characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar is a candlestick bar that is closing below, at least below the median line. Remember that the median line is a psychological price level. All right. So the professional traders, whenever they look at a candlestick bar, this is a strategy that we use also as a TST trader. When you see a candlestick bar, we highlight the high, the low, and the median line, yes or no, and we say priority to bullish signal above the median line, yes or no. So you can go to the monthly chart, highlight the high, the low, and the median line, and you want to give priority to bullish signal above the median line of the range of that candlestick bar, yes or no? And you want to give priority to bearish signal below, because that median line is a thin dividing line between the bullish zone and the bearish zone. Therefore, a typical bearish candlestick bar, a fundamentally bearish candlestick bar, will close below the median line of the range of the candlestick bar. It's not sufficient that the closing price is below the opening price. Now, a very bearish candlestick bar will close near the low of the range of the candlestick bar. A very bullish candlestick bar will close near the high of the candlestick bar. With that, you will start looking at the candlestick bar in a different way, and you will start understanding more the language of the price. One more thing. Bearish candlestick bar very often will form during a downtrend and also at a resistance level. That's another topic. All right. So as I promised you, I will be recording more videos about candlestick bar, and I will discard completely, help traders to discard completely all the misunderstanding, all the misconception about candlestick bar. You have to understand that the candlestick patterns. This is about the Japanese candlestick patterns. There are a lot of Japanese names that are too complicated for traders, and very often traders will forget those candlestick pattern names. But if you understand the price action itself and what I'm doing here, what is a bearish candlestick bar, what is a very bearish candlestick bar, what is a bullish candlestick bar, what is a very bullish candlestick bar, you will start using the candlestick pattern, okay, in a different way, in a better way. All right. Now, if you have any question or suggestion, all right, put in the comment section, and in due course, I will be recording another video to answer your specific question. We are the TSTW24 traders talking about the first fundamental characteristic of a bearish candlestick bar. Happy trading to you all, and speak to you soon.